Hey, welcome back. Today we're painting another Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures. It's the Djinni. So like I said, this is the Djinni from the Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures from the D&D world. And what's great about these miniatures is that they're already primed, so you get going right away. So I start off with the Zombicide Invader paint set Armor Gray. And this is for his turban. However, as you can see, you don't see the difference with the color of the primer and the color I'm putting on. So it's actually a good thing to know because I can use this on other Nolzur's miniatures if I make a mistake and can paint over, which I do in this one. I actually do paint over a couple spots that I make mistakes with. So it's actually good to know that the Armor Gray is a perfect match for the base coat. Alright, so I'll move on to a Abomination Gore from Zombicide's Black Plague paint set from the Army Painter. And this is for the little feather on his turban and his vest as well. And then I move on to Army Painter's Fog Gray, and this is for his skin. Now later on I will put a wash on it, and it's flesh wash, and it comes out a little bit more brownish, so I will do a dry brushing on top of that to bring back the highlights of the skin, and it actually turns out really nice. for the next part of this miniature, which is his satchel and stuff around his waist, I'm using deep blue from the Army Painter. And then I noticed that on the artwork, I actually made a mistake here. I'm painting what I thought was his shirt or another part of his shirt, but it's actually his skin. So off camera, I do go back and fix that and put the fog gray back on. And I was like, oops, that's not a shirt. So yeah, this is just around like his waist, like his belt and all that stuff. And then his pants after, I'm going to do in a different lighter blue, but it barely shows then again here. Alright, then here's the part where I use a little darker blue, so it's a dark sky. And these are for his pants, or his trousers, or whatever. And you can see there is a difference. Actually, it's a brighter blue. But when I put the wash on, it almost mixes it in altogether. Then using another of Army Painter's paints, it's ash gray. And in this one I pretty much just use Army Painter stuff. And so I do this for the cloud of smoke or whatever that's coming out of the Djinni's bottle. And again, you don't see too much on here, but it does show up a bit later, and I do use a tone on it to darken it a bit, but then I have to do some dry brushing as well, and you'll see that later on. Okay, now I'm using another of Army Painter's paints. It's dark stone, and this is for the stone that he's standing on, or floating above, whichever you want to see. This is a nice color for the stone, actually, I found. Alright, now I'm using bright gold from the Zombicide Black Plague paint set. This is also Army Painter, and this is actually just for the Djinni's bottle. And then I go on to Vallejo's model color black, and this is for his beard. And I actually have a hard time with it because it's very detailed, his beard, and got a lot of ridges, so I took my time on this one. But it comes out really nice. Alright, this is actually from the Metallics color paint set from the Army Painter. And this is Evil Chrome. And this is going to be used on the hilts of his swords, and on the jewelry he has on, and some gold pieces and stuff, daggers and all that that's around his waist. It's going to come out really nice. Alright, so of course we're going to be using some Claymore blade from the Zombicide Black Plague set. And it's for his swords, or scimitars I guess you could say as well. So this is where I make a mistake and use Deep Shader actually, and I use this on the cloud and on yeah, and it doesn't turn out the way I thought. I didn't realize Deep Shader was so brown, So it doesn't turn out the way it did, and I'll have to come back with a dry brush, but it actually comes out really nice in the end. So I use this on his pants and on the cloud, and I believe on the gold as well. Yeah, on the, sorry, the evil chrome. And now the evil chrome with this came out really nice because it actually made it sparkle, and it got into the nooks and crannies of it and really came out nice, and on the sword as well. Alright, so now I'm using Invader Shader from the Zombicide Invaders paint set from the Army Painter. And this is going to be for his turban to darken it a little bit. And that comes out nice. And again, I'll do a dry brush of the, what was it? I think it was Pale Skin, I believe it was. No, Armor Gray or something like that. Pale Armor. Alright, now I'm using the flesh wash on his skin, and another mistake I made in his painting, not thinking it was going to make it that brown, but it's okay. It turns out nice with the dry brushing later on, and you'll see how that turns out. Now I'm using one of the Quick Shades Ink Red Tone by the Army Painter's War Paints. And this is going to be to cover up his entire vest. And I was going to do a dry brush of a lighter red on it, and I ended up forgetting, but that's okay, it ends up being really nice. So this is where I'm going to do the dry brushing, and I'm using the Masterclass dry brush set by the Army Painter. And this is where I use the ash gray again, and just cover up the ridges, try not to get inside the cracks, I guess, or the crevices, or the anyways. So it comes out really nice with that. It gives it a nice finished touch. And then I'm going to use another dry brush. I think this time is for the skin, so I'm using that fog gray. Yes, fog gray. And just going over the skin again, and it comes out a nice blue. And this is a quick dry brush on his turban with the white that I used at the beginning from the Invader paint set. And oh, it was Armor Gray, I believe it was called. And yeah, there you go. This is the Djinni completed. There you go, next to him. And he has a different pose, which is funny. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.